So we're going from that style, original, and we've got that jigsaw puzzle to make our new rock slider out of. The size of the pipe, this here is 48mm outside diameter. It's 3.2mm thick wall, 3.2mm thick wall, and that's 50 by 50 box. And these are the same as this here, so it's like 48 outside diameter, 3.2mm thickness, and the same as the these ones here are going to go weld and then onto a plate on the chassis. The plan is these three in the middle. On this edge here I'm going to make like a U shape, like a scallop, so it marries onto here. At the end here I'm just going to weld that straight on. This one here I'm going to shorten it to suit, because this overall length here is 116mm, but by the time I put my cuts that'll be 100mm, if that makes sense. So I'm going to have 50, 100mm and a 50, and we'll go from there. Okay, so with these pipes, tube, that's going to be 100mm total that I want. So there's a formula, there's lots of formulas, but one I saw on YouTube, really quite easy. The pipe is 48mm across, say 50, 48, 50, 1/3. So you've got to go 1/3. Okay. Now in metric, I haven't worked it out, but that's 1/3. So it works out, say it's overall, I think I put in 48. 48. Let's just say 50. 1/3 of 50 worked out to 16mm. So that's from here to there. That's there. So I've marked it all around. Let's see if I can. So I've marked it all the way around. So this is the area I'm going to cut out with the grinder. So I'll end up with a point here and a point there. Get rid of all that. Okay, so 1/3 of whatever it is, and that equals that distance there. Alright, so what I did, I hope this is on the camera, on the wrong side. I'll do it like this, it might come up. Actually, I'll put the camera over this side. I thought the lighting was better there. So, I've got that measurement here on my square, 15mm. I need to find, say, 12 o'clock to 3 o'clock. Mark it and mark it. Okay. Same with this way. Try and have it square with these here. And I'm just going to mark that a little bit. There's a few ways, there's probably a lot better ways to do it, but this is just what I've seen, and hopefully it works for me. Where to mark that one there? Okay, so you got all them marked. Now you've got to come down your 15 on the pipe, put a mark there, mark there, mark there, and a mark there. Okay, so then you have your marks here. Draw that line down best you can. You can put the square on, but this isn't square anyway. It wasn't cut square. Pen's drying out. Mark that down. Mark that down. I hope that's coming up on the net. That's pretty good. The camera. So now we have these points here. So from this tip, what was it? I was coming from this tip here. I'm going to try and draw on a bit of a circle or a curve I should say, not a circle. And then from that point up to here, you sort of want to do the same thing, so you're bringing it up, and this is going to be cut out that point. Now this is very rough, okay, so prepay, like I'm going to do a test one before I cut them all. Obviously I'm going to see if I can get close to my 100mm from here down. So in saying that, what have I got? So that there, and there we go, there's my 100, that's coming up. There's my 100mm there. Might have to take some more off, but I'll see how I go. That's basically the what's it called, scalloping or bird mouthing. There's a few other terms, but anyway, I'll carry on. Okay, so here's the first one I cut. This with the angle grinder, put a cut through to here, then a cut through to across to there, and the same on that one. And for what I'm doing, that's pretty good. There's really, yeah, I'm really happy with that. I'm gonna bevel this off, grind this back so there's a gap for when I weld. I'll have a good, yeah, bevel on this, you'll see later on. Hopefully that's in camera. So very good, very happy. Use a really thin wheel too, really thin. Not a wide one. Don't use a grinding one, that comes later. Okay, so where I'm up to, I've ground them back. I'm about 2mm over my target of 100 on the inside, that is. Now I've ground this here, the edges and all the paint off. So you've ground around it to give it a good section to bite into. I'll take the paint off where I mark these eventually. This pipe this tube here, the outside rail, it was 1.6, but it's a little bit too long because I didn't know the full length of these elbows that I purchased. Or that were supplied. So I'm lining up the edge of where it fits. I've got to measure this now to cut that one to size. So it'll go in like there. It's just going to be a straight cut, and then I'll grind around it both ends to give the weld a good penetration. Do the same with these, clean these up. I think they look like, oh, they're just steel, but yeah, get a bit of that coating off. And then I'll be able to go down to the other end once I get this sort of not tacked up, but just in position, and I come down and I can do the same down this end here. So I'm going to have to cut a bit of this pipe here off so it'll sit into, sorry, I've got my glove on, it'll sit into there sort of thing. Cut that, and then I can cut this one here. I can put it in and get a measurement. So that's where I'm up to. It's come along nicely, and I'll just go over and show you. As a novice, I've gone from a very basic welding shield back in there where you was well stick welding. Then I bought this one here for, I don't know what it was, $29 or something. Then I got upgraded to this one here maybe 2 years ago. It's got the small window there. It's I was finding it really hard to see out of, probably just me, but I'm over that. I don't think it's good enough. So yeah, I lashed out and bought this one here. So this is almost as expensive as what the steels cost me, but I don't do a lot of welding. Once again, I'm not sponsored by this mob or anything. What was I going to say? Yeah, I don't do a lot of welding, but I'm getting a lot better, and when I do, yeah, I want to be able to see a lot better and do better jobs, obviously. Next step. So yesterday I had to cut this one here shorter to suit the elbow, and that one there I had to cut shorter to suit that elbow. So I've got the, that's where I'm going to weld at the end. There's so many ways you could do it, but I'm not going to procrastinate and dick around. I'm just going to weld it there, and if it's no good, too bad. So the ends of these elbows, I've cleaned them off and ground them. They already are tapered, which is good, or beveled. And the rest of the pipe, I put went around, put a nice a bevel in it too. Don't want to pull it back out, but you can see that there. So you take a fair bit of the steel off the edge, so the weld will get a nice big weld down in there. What I've got to do now is I've marked where these go, where I want them, and I've got it marked on the edges. I'm going to pull these back out, take this outside, and I've got to ground the paint where I'm going to weld. I've got to do the same on this one. So I've got a few of those to do. How I found the center, and this is just the way I did it. So the overall length of this blue section was 1.7 meters, whatever that is in feet, inches, not too sure at the moment. I divided that by 2. So from the end, I came in, the center was 850 mil. So there's 850 mil. 850 mil divided by 2, I got 412 roughly. Okay, pretty close. So from here back halfway, that's 412, and I want to mark that to get the round bar side. I just put my cheap square across, and you put a line, and the C means center, for those that don't know. So all I've got to do is take some paint off both these rails, and then I can clamp it together and start doing a bit of stitching, tack welding, get it where I want it, and then take it out to the car and do the first fitment. So stay tuned, be back. This new helmet, without going to weld or use it, it's really good. So see how we go. Some of this I bought, stop it from splattering. Oh, changed my settings a bit, I think. Well, that's it guys, tacked both sides. So I haven't knocked the weld off. I'm hoping it's tacked enough it's held so I can go out and do a fitment before I fully weld it, of course. So you can see I've got a light here helping pick it up. I've got this weld anti-splatter stuff as well, that's helping. I've cleaned up the surfaces really good. I've got my fan speed, wire speed on about 4, I think it is. Yep. I've got on the highest setting, both down to, and it's number 2 there. You can see that. So it seems to be penetrating really good, and it's leaving like a a low area, if that makes sense. All right, I'll go out and do a fitment, see how we go. Oh, the other thing too, quickly, this helmet, it is, compared to what I was using, I think it was a $60 welder, the last one. This one here I bought, it is magic. It is really good, love it. So, but yeah, it's got all the things in there, settings, or grinding or welding, really great, love it. So that's the same height as the originals. Surprisingly, I just dropped the jack stands down a bit. Excuse me. Had a bit of a look, and it's close to 350 there, where the old ones were at the bottom. And the same up there, it's pretty close to 350 as well. Got to bring that forward probably a little bit. But yeah, I'm going to have to just work out some distances, of course. I've got the turn the light around, where I married up to the chassis. Work out where they go. I've got two sections. The first, well, the middle and the back should be flat, straight across. But up front it's a bit of a kink. I'll have to work something out up there. So I've got it set up to where I want it. I'm going to go underneath and measure my bracing arms. I've got a caliper. I'll do it as spot on as I can. So you want to use a spatula and just get off any sediment, dirt, mud, so you've got a nice fitment, and get your measurements quite close. And I'm going to use what's called a caliper set. That's what I want. Okay, so making up the brackets, I've had steel left over, so I've just cut this here in half. So I've got 65 wide, made it 60, this area here, 60, got 111 mil, and it's 6 mil thick, this plate. So I've drilled the holes to suit when I bend it, and this is what you get here. I've bent this one. So that's what you get there. I've cut, as you can see there, I've cut through, so then I can bend it, and I'm going to weld that. Just saves you having to have 3 pieces. That's why I've done it, because I had the full length. You might not have the amount required, so you might have to do a bit differently in 3 pieces. So that's what I'm going to do now. Go ahead and bend this one into shape, and go from there. So here's a quick update of one tack welded, ready to be fully welded. So I've got measurements here, and this is the underside. Okay, so this measurement here, this elbow for example, is from this joint here out to a corner, 75 mil. So got a 100 mil spacer, and that's from that point out. You got to allow, I think it was another 15 mil, 1/3. It's on the rest of the video about that, how I got that. This overall length here, 1.7, and this is just for my Pajero, so a long base Pajero model. This one here, 1.530, and these might be slightly different to yours, of course, as well. I've got the 3 stays, and they're all different lengths as well. So the very front was we're at 215, 180, and then 190 there. I did these individually as well. I did make a mess with my holes. That was a nightmare. Yeah, long story, but a nightmare. So I was way out with my calculations, so I've had to overbore them. I've got to weld a washer here and try and make it like an infill. It's a bit of a dick, but anyway. And as you can see with this one here, did the same thing. So I'm going to infill in behind, hopefully cut those excess washer off and end up with just a U. So lesson learnt. And this is the very front one. I couldn't go around the chassis, so I've had to put a bit of plate here, weld that, and I'll put a bracing across here as well. I think I can do it that side, and I'll put a small bracing here as well. And I've just cut some end fillers. That's will go into there. I'll stitch that, grind it all back so it'll be watertight hopefully, and that's it there. And I've just designed it so, and a lot of experts do this, I'll just put a cut through there. I'm just going to bend that over, and that's a cap ready to go. So I'll stitch that and complete it. So there you go. I got that measurement wrong again. I've got to cut some of that off, or I can weld under there I suppose and then grind it off, but that'll be a capped end anyway. So that's where I'm up to. Here's the official weight of one slider. Put it on the scale nice and gently. So that's not too bad. 19.6 kilos. So that's it there. So just got my finger sort of just holding it from anything from going, but yeah, 19.6. It's good. Okay, so I've made quite a few of these up. I'm going to weld along here, and this is where you're going to be touching possibly with your hand, so you want to make sure that's nice and smooth, not going to cut you even though it's going to be painted. And if I bring you over here, this is how many I've made up a heap. I've got one more still to go, but these are going to go into there like that to reinforce where I need to, possibly even this one here. Okay, the first one, this is where we're up to. I've just ground back any huge chunks of slag through bad welding of my own, just to clean it up. And I want this top section flat because I'm probably going to put a bit of iron or metal across here, so it's stone proof, mud proof, and it's a good place to step on. I might have it come around the front a little bit, so it's universal. That's what I want: rock sliders, stone protector, and something practical to stand on. I don't care about the angle. So that's where we're up to with this part. Next time on this, I'll clean up the rest of these, grind them all nice and smooth, and Same as these ones here, it's not the best lighting. Then I'll flip it over and weld the other side. And I've actually, before I might put the bracings in, might do that tomorrow first. Okay, note to self and to others who wear glasses. Everything was going really good. Then I couldn't see my welds. And I was putting light on, I was adjusting my welder, I was going over adjusting the welding. So yeah, like, where was it? You can see all the splattering there, I was too far away at times. Yeah, so remember put your glasses on, otherwise it's just a shit fight. So that's pretty much that one welded. Pretty sure I've got all the joins, so I've got to grind it, wire wheel it. I don't know if I'll give it a paint or test fit first.